The patient is unable to weight shift to one side completely. This is seen when she's asked to lift one leg up at a time and she's unable to complete the activity without her upper extremity being on the bed. And when she's asked to keep her hands in her lap and not use the upper extremities, she completely loses her balance. I believe that this is a problem physiologically because the cerebellum is responsible for smoothing out motion, controlling movement, and timing of movement based on other systems' feedback. And when this is damaged, it lacks the appropriate force generation needed in order to balance on just that one hip. My goal, and this is important for functional purposes, because you need to be able to weight shift when you're sitting in bed in order to put on pants, in order for bed mobility when scooting, in order to transfer correctly, and in order to reach for objects when you're seated. So my goal for this patient would be in 4 weeks, she's able to clear one hip off of the support surface that she's sitting on and hold it for 10 seconds in order to get dressed one leg at a time when putting on pants. The treatment intervention that I would do for this patient is when she's sitting, I would put my hands on one side of her and elongate that side and shorten the other side so that she's used to shifting weight and she gets used to what that feels like. After we have a good balance and a good grip on that and she's comfortable with that motion, I'd support her in that motion so that she's elongated on one side, shortened on one side, and is shifting weight. And I would have our tech or our aide, whoever's there to help us, throw a ball to the side that she is elongated on. So it keeps her entertained, it keeps her shifted on that side while she's waiting for the ball to come to her. And then she can hit the ball back to them, and then we can go back, reset, and start that again. So we're not just shifting to that side and holding there and just counting. She's got an object there that she's waiting for, she's entertained, she wants to hit the ball. The next problem that I see during the video is she's got a decrease in dynamic balance. So when she's sitting and she's moved, she doesn't have a problem. Static, she's fine. When she has to reach laterally, forward or behind her, she has to use her upper extremity for support. So physiologically, what I think is going on there is the cerebellum is responsible for air detection and correction. And when this is damaged, she doesn't have the proper correction. So muscles are overfiring and there's no stop-start like we would have if we go to reach and something is not as far as we thought it was. And this is important for maintaining balance when reaching for objects, when you test your limits of stability, and you need to be able to hold it there without going past and falling over. She doesn't have that. This is important during transfers, and if you're reaching for anything when you're sitting in bed and you're reaching for something on the nightstand or you're reaching for something that somebody's handing you. This is important for that. My goal for her would be in 4 weeks to be able to laterally reach to the side, clearing the opposite ischial tuberosity in order to grab objects that are sitting on the bedstand beside her without losing her balance. So what I would do for this intervention is I would set up 2 trays on the side of her with cones or other small objects, and I would have her move one object from one table and go to the other table. Or I can hand her objects and have her put it on the table that's further away, and I can keep increasing the distance that the table is so she has to reach further and further each time.